Hey everyone, this is Katie here. I just wanted to talk to you, jump back on here. I made a video last week about my mom and what acute myeloid leukemia was and the journey that I went through with her. I also wanted to come back on here and make a video of the last couple weeks of her life to put it in perspective. The end of April of last year, I got really sick with the flu. I was out of work for maybe 3 or 4 days, and I stayed away from my mom. Obviously, she had no immune system. And at the time, my mom had a pizza party. She loved having pizza parties for the family, so she'd have them over. My mom brought me the pizza in my room. I just stayed away from everybody, and I was so careful not to get around her, get her sick. I wasn't around her, or when she was in the kitchen, I would just make sure I wasn't in there, and I'd bleach everything. But I want to say at the beginning of May, my brother came out for his 40th birthday, and that day that he was coming out, my mom said she didn't feel well, kind of snapped at me, and I was just like, okay, I'll leave you alone. And then that night, my brother and I and my sister-in-law and my nephew, we went out to eat. She asked us to bring her stuff, she wanted steak and she wanted a salad and all this stuff. So we got her, everything. And when I got home, I gave it to her, and she had a glass of wine. She loved her wine. And she seemed okay, she seemed better. And then the following day, I noticed she wouldn't get out of bed. She wouldn't eat. She wouldn't go to the bathroom. She would just lay there. And I went out with my brother that day and just told him, that she's not feeling well and this is what's happening. And then I came home, and I was getting ready for bed because I do go to bed early. And I checked on her again. She hadn't eaten. She requested food, wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink, and she was just laying there. So I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what was wrong. I just kept checking on her every single hour. Even after I'd gone to bed, I'd wake up every hour to make sure she was okay. And I knew something was wrong. I reached out to people, family, around 10:30, just voiced my concerns. I'm like, there's something wrong. And around midnight, I came, I had to call 911 because she wasn't, she was just laying there. And I didn't know what was wrong. They came and looked at her. They said she was extremely dehydrated, and that she just needed to drink water, Gatorade, whatever. So we had some at the house. I went and got her water, got her some Gatorade. And after they left, she refused to drink water or anything. She just laid there. And when I woke up, I kept checking on her every hour. When I finally woke up around 4, I got up, got dressed, went to the gym. When I came back, she actually had gone to sleep. She hadn't slept. And I didn't want to wake her up, but I did call my aunt and uncle around 6. And 6 a.m. They came over a little before 7, and my uncle looked at her, and he's like, I can't take her to the hospital. She's way too weak. So we had to call 911. The same paramedics, the same, crew that came out at midnight were the same ones that came again. And they said that she needed to go to the hospital. She refused the first time. She didn't want to go, so I just let it go. And then this next time, when they came, she didn't have a choice, so she went, and they ran a bunch of tests. She had a pneumonia and E. coli, and they started doing, she also needed a blood transfusion in between. She was very weak. She did get some of her strength back. She was in the hospital for a good 10 days. She was released to my brother and I, and the doctor said that she would have made a full recovery. It would just take a long time, and she needed physical therapy, so we started getting everything ready. When she came home, we got a home health care person, and she seemed to be doing okay. Wasn't eating, but she was asking for her favorite Diet Coke, so she was drinking that. She would, eat certain things. Like one day she asked for M&Ms, and She would feed herself. She had oxygen at the end, but you know, and that was, she came home on Thursday. That was Friday and Saturday. Everybody, the day before she passed away, came over to see her. Like every family member, friends, my friends, all came to see her. Very talkative, in good spirits, laughing, joking. And then I think there was 4 or 5 chemo nurses that came too. And this is unheard of. Chemo nurses don't make house calls, but they came and they were joking, laughing with my mom. And then they came out and told us that all of her chemo, her platelets, blood transfusions, all had stopped. There's nothing more that could be done. This was the end, and it would be a few days. We were all kind of in shock. We didn't know, because my mom never mentioned anything, but according to them, hospice upon release was supposed to be talked about. My mom was supposed to bring it up, never brought it up, so we didn't know. The next day we went to try and wake her up, but she was already in a coma, but she ended up passing away that late evening. But those were just the last few weeks of her life. But she wasn't in any pain. She was her feisty self. She was very feisty till the end. She was a fighter. She never got sick from chemo. She always was hungry, loved Popeyes. She drove herself to chemo. Nobody ever took her. She was just a fun to be around. She was a joy. She was never in any pain, never complained. But I just wanted to share the last few weeks of her life. So always thank you for watching.